Good morning, children. In our previous class, we studied about physical properties of metals and non-metals. In today's class, let us see about chemical properties of metals and non-metals. Under this, we will be seeing how metals and non-metals react with air. Okay, let us begin. So coming to first slide, so how metals are going to react with the basic things that are present in our day-to-day life, just like air, water and acids. So we'll be seeing here how metals reacts in the presence of air. Air especially means here is oxygen, right? So when metal is allowed to react with air, it gives out metal oxide. When you allow metal to react with air, so what is being obtained? That is metal oxide. What is metal oxide, children? That is the oxygen is going to attach on the metal on its surface, or it forms a layer on metal, that is metal oxide. Every metal is not necessarily behave the same way with oxygen. Like if you take alkali metals like sodium and potassium, they are very much reactive with oxygen. So that is the reason sodium has been preserved in kerosene. So it doesn't allow it to react with air or water. One of the best example or experiment to show that metal react with air or oxygen is burning of magnesium ribbon with air. Let's understand this experiment. First, we have to take a magnesium ribbon and clean it with a sandpaper. By the way, why we need to clean magnesium ribbon before doing our experiment? Because magnesium is also a reactive metal and it reacts with oxygen and carbon dioxide that is present in the atmosphere, and it makes certain layer over it, just like magnesium oxide as well as magnesium carbonate. Because of this, the surface of the layer become dull. Okay, so because I need a pure metal to conduct experiment, so that is the reason we clean magnesium ribbon and use it so that the layer gets removed. Now the magnesium ribbon is ready for the experiment and it is reacting with the oxygen. When it is burnt, okay, when it is burnt, it appears to be a dazzling light. It gives out a dazzling light, you can see in the picture, and it is very harmful for eyes. That is the reason one who is performing an experiment should wear a specs. Okay, and apart from magnesium, there are metals which reacts with oxygen, that is sodium and potassium. As I mentioned above, sodium and potassium are very fast reactive and very vigorously reacts in the presence of air and water. Okay, so that is the reason it is preserved in kerosene, right? So you can see in the chemical equation I've given, when sodium reacts with oxygen, it gives out sodium oxide. Same way, when potassium reacts with oxygen, it gives us potassium oxide. Okay, so coming to the experiment, it's not that magnesium, if you keep it outside and allow it to react with oxygen, it won't give any sort of reaction or product, because they require some external energy or source to react, that is heat. Okay, so that here I've given in the second example magnesium plus oxygen. When the magnesium is allowed to react in the presence of oxygen, it gives out magnesium oxide. Okay, but external source has to be applied, that is heat, right? So you have heard about combustion reaction in your primary classes. Burning of substance in the presence of oxygen is called combustion. Here something combustion processes taken place when you react magnesium with oxide. It is not necessary that every metal has to be burnt in the presence of oxygen whenever we apply it. No. There are free metals which doesn't burn in the presence of oxygen, just like copper, silver, gold. These are very less reactive metals and free metals that they won't react with air as well. That is the reason there won't be any sort of combustion or any product is formed. Okay, next reaction you can see Fe plus O2. Iron, when it is allowed to react in the presence of oxygen, it gives a Fe3O4, that is ferrous ferric oxide. Right, here I have mentioned iron 2 and 3 oxide. So what is that? So So it is nothing but the valence of iron, right? So when you allow iron to react with oxygen, when you take iron fillings, that is iron powder, when these iron fillings are sprinkled on fire, they produce light and they burn. But when you take a piece of iron and burn it, it won't burn, because iron piece has a large surface area. You need to make them red hot as well as heat them, then only a small reaction can be seen. But then too, they won't show any burning reaction. This means surface area also play a major role, right? So as I said, Fe I have mentioned as iron 2, 3, these are valency. Fe3 as 3 ions. In this, 1 iron as valency 2 and 2 iron as valency 3, because iron has variable valency. Okay, in the next slide you can see the reaction. I've showed it in a picture, right? So here in two pictures, you can see how sodium and potassium is reacting in the presence of oxygen. So if I take a sodium in the presence of oxygen, so and allow it to react, it gives out sodium oxide. And this sodium and potassium are very it shows a very vigorous reaction. That is the reason sodium is preserved in kerosene. You may get a question like why sodium is being preserved in kerosene. What is the reason for it? Once it has been preserved, it doesn't allow sodium to react in water or air. Okay, and also potassium, when it is allowed to react with the oxygen, it gives out potassium oxide. So what do you think, children? All the metals, do they react in the presence of oxygen? No, there are few metals, they doesn't react with oxygen even when the external force heat is being given. So here you can see, for example, sodium, yes, it reacts in the presence of oxygen to give out sodium oxide, right? Also magnesium reacts with oxygen, but external force heat has to be given. When you burn a magnesium ribbons, it gives out a dazzling white flame to produce magnesium oxide. What about iron fillings? Iron fillings in the sense that powdery substance of iron. So when these iron fillings burns in the presence of fire, so what does it do? It gives out a sparks and it produces iron oxide. So next is a gold. Gold is also considered to be a metal, but it doesn't react on heating. Okay, and also copper, they doesn't react while heating because copper is less reactive in oxygen. So the metals which I mentioned, which doesn't react with oxygen, these metals are very less reactive in the presence of oxygen. That is the reason they don't react or they don't produce any product. Okay. And this is clear to all of you that it is not true that every metal should behave in the same way with air. That means every metal must be having some or the other reactivity with oxygen. Okay. So here we will be learning about nature of metal oxide. To know the nature of metal oxides, the metal oxides which has been obtained, okay, these has to be dissolved in the water to get aqueous solution, right? Then only we can take a litmus paper and check the nature of these metal oxides. We'll see in further explanation. So first explanation, first example, that is potassium hydroxide. When potassium oxide is allowed to react with water, it gives out potassium hydroxide. Now potassium hydroxide is an aqueous solution. Next is sodium oxide. When it is reacted with water, it gives sodium hydroxide. Again, these two are alkali solution. Okay, and this don't have any sort of residues. Okay, next is calcium oxide. When it is allowed to react with water, it gives calcium hydroxide. And also next magnesium oxide, when it is allowed to dissolve or react with water, it gives out magnesium hydroxide. This two reaction, that is calcium oxide and magnesium oxide, these are having a these are said to be having a mild alkali nature and with a less residue, where in case of potassium oxide or sodium oxide, these are more alkali, they have a more alkali nature. Okay, To check the nature of metal oxide, these oxides has to be in a aqueous form, as I said before. Uh, then, and how do we obtain these aqueous solution? It is by dissolving oxides in water. With the help of litmus paper, we can check the nature of these aqueous solution. Okay, with the litmus paper, that litmus paper has to be dipped with the solution. If it turns blue, then it is said to be basic in nature. Now these metal oxides are said to be basic in nature because the litmus paper turns to blue when it is dipped in this uh, respective hydroxides. Okay. Next is about non-metals, how they react in the presence of air. Okay, non-metals with air. So when non-metals are burnt in the presence of oxygen, that will give non-metal oxides. It is quite opposite to metals when it reacts with air. Okay, so here these are generally acidic. These non-metal oxides are generally acidic and some of them have neutral nature as well. Okay, first example here, when sulfur is allowed to react in the presence of oxygen, it gives sulfur dioxide. Okay, excess of oxygen gives sulfur trioxide. If you take sulfur in form of excess and in the presence of oxygen, if you allow to react, it gives sulfur trioxide. Where here I have taken only example of sulfur dioxide. And also next example, that is when carbon is allowed to react in the presence of oxygen, it gives out carbon dioxide. You know carbon dioxide is a greenhouse gas. Okay, these oxides are converted to aqueous solution again, same like nature of metals. So what happens when we get aqueous solution? It is allowed to dissolve in water and test with litmus paper. It shows red color and it is an acidic in nature. Okay, the litmus paper turns to be in red color. Okay. Next topic is nature of non-metal oxide. A non-metal oxide which is reacting with water, it forms an acid. For example, carbon dioxide, it is a non-metal oxide. When it reacts with water, what is the product that we are getting? That is carbonic acid, that is HCO3. It is carbonic acid. And next example is SO3, sulfur oxide, okay, reacting with water, it forms sulfuric acid. SO3 is a non-metal oxide. Okay, and how do we check whether it is acid? So we use a blue litmus paper and dip this litmus paper in the acid so that blue litmus turns to red. So it shows that it is an acid. Thank you all. Hope you all have understood the concept today. So if there is any questions or any doubts to be clarified, please do text me through WhatsApp or you can call me. I'll clarify with your doubts. Right. So see you all. Have a good day.